And we are back.
We're back. Does that sound okay?
It does. Sounds great.
All right.
So we are at 120 people already. So thank you for that, guys.
Fantastic.
Everybody that's here. We are going to be doing a quick housekeeping, and then we will move into some reaction videos. This will be our last live stream until after the 19th when we get back from Vegas. So there will not be a live this Sunday night. We're not doing any Patreon live content this week. It's just we're trying to ramp up into Vegas and get as much done as we can so that we can get done with this shit when we get back and not have to worry about content as much.
Yep.
We already have interviews scheduled for October so that when we get back from Vegas, we really have to order furniture and get all that shit in order as well. I did order a print for Behind You because Lorraine made a comment last week about how I got a print and you don't. So we're balancing that out. Or we could have just switched desks. I don't really care if there's a print or not. But
I'm pretty excited about having one of my photos behind me.
yeah. Well, you got one next to you.
I'm going to be surrounded by it. That makes me happy.
So as you guys can see on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, this little photo that we have going with Peaches down there, that is the blanket hoodie that is on pre-sale until October 1st. Once those go into production, we will not be ordering them ever again. These are a one-time deal. They are super comfortable velour. They have a fleece inside that is unzippable so that you can wash the inside without damaging the velour, because you know when you wash a really soft blanket, it's never the same.
Yeah.
So we are doing the thing. We have so much going on right now.
We really do.
We have new business ventures that we're working out, which will be probably talked about after Vegas, because I don't want to get too much into that, but we have a lot happening. So I know that you guys who are in Patreon are dying for content, and we've been giving you vlogs just trying to like satiate your needs for right now. When we get back from Vegas, there will be content that goes live on YouTube and then goes half content for YouTube, half content for Patreon, as well as we're going to start doing email reads again for Patreon exclusives at least once a week, even if it's a single email, to try to ramp up content for Patreon. With that being said, Zach said to be busy. Bro, you have no fucking idea. Wait, there's a lot. There's so much in the fucking works right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually bringing back my business meetings.
Yep.
So that might help me a little bit. I actually think that I might hire an assistant. I don't want to. I really don't want to. But I think that it would be better. My time would be better spent working on the businesses instead of in the businesses. And there's a whole lot of like grunt work that could be done that would be worth paying somebody to do so that I can focus on other shit. But
Yeah.
T-shirts are going to be released on September 24th at 7 p.m. on the tobebetter.com website. There will be the accountability shirt re-release in pink and yellow. We are doing the Burn the Ship shirts. We are doing accountability hoodies and Burn the Ship hoodies. Those will all go live 7 p.m. Hoodies are super fucking limited. I ordered 60 hoodies total, and we're breaking them down into 2 different designs. So like they're limited. When they go up, they're going to sell fast.
Yep.
So set your alarms for that. And then lastly, we still have like 6 or 7 journals left in stock on the website as well. Still have plenty of his and her shirts. We still have some tattoo shirts left.
Yep.
And also last thing, this will actually be the last thing, is we have the giveaway that we're doing on Instagram. Follow our Instagram page, To Be Better Podcast. If you have some of our merchandise, take a picture of you in the merchandise, tag To Be Better Giveaway. We will be giving away 3 backpacks in October based off of 3 photos that we pick. And it's going to have miscellaneous mystery merchandise. It could be tattoo-related shit. It could be podcast-related shit. It could be prints. Could be...
One of my favorite rocks.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
You might get a backpack with some fucking dirt in it. Or a backpack with a backpack in the backpack. We don't know.
Maybe a little fanny pack.
No, I'm not getting rid of my fanny pack. No, I'm taking that to Vegas so that I can crossbody wear it and keep all my money close by.
You look really good in a crossbody bag.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Crazy that this is where we've come to in life.
What do you mean?
That
us specifically,
I'm
or
that
just
guy
humans?
now who's walking around with a fucking cross bag because it's easier than putting shit in my pockets. It's in the car.
I mean, it is easier.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to cover? Because I think that's everything for me. I'm sick, ladies and gentlemen, all over again.
Somebody said I want the backpack with the dirt in it.
Send you some of that Florida soil.
Some of that Florida soil.
It's called sand.
It is. Rocks, shells. No, not that I can think of. I'm very excited about the thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm going to allude to it and dance around what it could be, but
I messaged Jordan today about a lot of that. I want to get him on the podcast when we get back too. I think that he has the rest of this month without shows.
Oh, dope.
So, all right. Well, then do you want to just jump into this? Because we have videos that were found by the wizards that we are going to react to.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's see.
I'm ready to be hydrated as well. What about you fuckers? Are you drinking water today?
So the first one's a TED Talk. And it's only 11 minutes long, but we're going to pause as we go. So when you want me to pause, you tell me to pause.
I want to see a show of hands. How many of you have unfriended someone on Facebook because they said something offensive about politics or religion, childcare, food?
Yes.
They had me until childcare. I was like, no, I haven't done any of that. But if I see you neglecting your kids on social media, I'm deleting you.
So I have unfriended people over political posts, and it's that kind of thing of unfriend me if you think this, and this is okay, or whatever it is.
I just unfollow them.
I unfriend them over that. You're really that closed-minded. You're not even willing to have discussions about those kinds of things. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
At this point, I would assume that if they feel that way and I have a difference of an opinion, they've already unfollowed me. But I'm not going to unfriend somebody because they have a different opinion.
Yeah, I don't want that kind of energy in my life. That closed-mindedness, I find
you don't even have a Facebook anymore.
You're right. I don't, but when I did, I went through it and I would do purges on my Facebook. Right? Yeah. And I would observe people and see the things they post. And if I see them posting things that are very like late teens, early 20s of me, I'm like, ooh, you're still doing that right now? Okay. And I would just go through and I would purge it because I don't know. My business is my business. And if you're being that aloof, I bet you're like talking about me or something.
Probably.
I'm good.
All right. Call that vague booking.
And how many of you know at least one person that you avoid because you just don't want to talk to them? You know, it used to be that in order to have a polite conversation, we just had to follow the advice of Henry Higgins and My Fair Lady, stick to the weather and your health. But these days, with climate change and anti-vaxxing, those subjects are not safe either. So this world that we live in, this world in which every conversation has the potential to devolve into an argument where our politicians can't speak to one another and where even the most trivial of issues have someone fighting both passionately for it and against it, it's not normal. Pew Research did a study of 10,000 American adults, and they found that at this moment we are more polarized, we are more divided than we ever have been in history. We're less likely to compromise, which means we're not listening to each other.
I'm going to pause because I have something I want to say. This goes into the fact that as humans, we are not meant to interact with more than like 150 people in our lives, like to have them close to us.
Right.
And with social media having the reach that it does, right? Having, 500 friends or 1,000 friends or 15,000 followers that you're interacting with on a regular basis, these are not genuine interactions. They are just people that you are talking to.
Right.
Their opinions of you and of them should not dictate your life in any way, shape, or form. We hold so much value on what people we will never meet have to say. And for me to say that, being that we are a podcast that actually talks about bettering lives, our opinion of what you're doing in your life in your life should not matter to you. Our opinion of you should not matter. The fact that we are giving you information, the information is what the takeaway should be. That's what you should be focusing on. How can I use this information to better myself? If we say something that you disagree with, good. We don't want you to be sheeps. We want you to think for yourselves. We want you to like, how can I apply the things that I think I can apply to my life? This is not normal for our health. This is not normal for our brain capacities. Like, social media is a detriment. And I believe that is the biggest cause of division in our culture, next to the media.
Yeah, we're not just divided as a people anymore. We're divided down to ourselves.
Right.
A lot of us can't even fucking stand who we are anymore.
You are not wrong about that.
People are avoiding looking at themselves in the mirror. They can't think about the past because it's too painful, or if I did this, this would have changed. They're not even looking at the present. Yeah, we're divided down to our souls.
It's wild when you really think about it.
Yeah. And we make decisions about where to live, who to marry, and even who our friends are going to be based on what we already believe. Again, that means we're not listening.
Which is doing nothing other than creating an echo chamber, which is not healthy.
To each other.
That also removes your ability to critically think.
It does.
A conversation requires a balance between talking and listening, and somewhere along the way we lost that balance.
All right, I know why we've lost that balance.
Okay, you have stopped this and played it so many times, I can't follow it.
All right.
I don't know what's happening.
I'll back it up a little bit and let it play after I say this. The reason that we've
Okay.
lost that balance, because she's talking about the balance between listening and talking. When you have a platform where you can put your information out in the world and wait for people to talk to you and give their feedback, and then you can have that pause, right? Because you're just going through about your day, and then when you're ready to say something, you have the stage. Because when you're typing, no one can interrupt you.
Right.
Unless they're like standing next to you and it's like a kid or something. You're like, wait a second, hang on. And then you go back to what you're doing. That makes you the most important person in your universe in that moment. So when you are having a conversation with somebody in real life, because you're so used to doing it digitally, you believe you're the most important person in that conversation. We have lost the ability to actively listen. We're waiting for our opportunity to speak so that we can have that platform because I am the most important. And we are ingrained in that since we are teenagers because of social media.
Right. People are also so used to just, I can put my phone down whenever I want to. So the conversation is over when it's over.
Yep.
And they think that can apply in real life too.
I mean, you can just walk away.
Right. But in relationships, a marriage, for example, or parenting, you can't do that. The conversation isn't over when you want it to be over. It's over when things are resolved.
Yep. All right. I'm not going to back it up. I'm just going to play it. And when you're ready for me to pause it, you tell me.
Okay.
And I'll try to go easy on the pause on pause, pause on pause.
Now, part of that is due to technology, the smartphones that you all either have in your hands or close enough that you could grab them really quickly. According to Pew Research, about a third of American teenagers send more than 100 texts a day. And many of them, almost most of them, are more likely to text their friends than they are to talk to them face to face.
Pause.
There's this
So, I noticed as phones have developed, it's a fucking insane thing. There are people now who don't know, well, kids specifically, who don't know what life was like before technology.
Right. There are people that don't understand why you say hang the phone up.
Right. That's insane to think about.
Right. Fuck, I'm old.
My anxiety, I can pinpoint when my anxiety started getting worse. And it's when texting, free text messaging became a thing. You didn't have to pay to text anymore.
Right.
And, oh, you're telling me I don't have to look at you anymore and I can talk to you? We can have a confrontation through text message and I don't have to hear you yelling at me? Okay, word. Like, there was a point in my life where I shut down human communication, period. I would go to school. I would talk to one or two people that I would trust. I would answer whatever questions I had to answer. I would go home. All right, I have 10 days till I can move out.
You have a visual representation of watching technology destroy personal relationships, starting with the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
Because family dinners every Sunday night was a thing. Family reunions were a big fucking thing, and it happened every week. And or if you had a big family that lived in the house, dinner time was your time to communicate and have that family time. Mm-hmm. The invention of the telephone meant that family reunions and family dinners became few and far between because now I can pick up the phone and just call you and talk to you whenever I want to.
Yeah.
So that personal interaction's gone. And then the invent of the cell phone and the text message made that even less. Mm-hmm. Now we have 140 character or less conversations, and there's no real personal growth or development that's happening within relationships anymore because it's completely digital. There's no tone, no inflection. There's unnecessary arguments because the way things are worded and the way people read them in their head versus the way they're being said.
Right.
But you can see that from the invention of the telephone all the way through to the internet.
Mm-hmm. And, people are saying that we're seeing a rise in autism and people being on the spectrum with avoiding eye contact and can't handle conversations and this, and that, and certain things. We are raising our children sheltered in households. Mm-hmm. Kids aren't playing outside anymore. If I don't hear a fire truck regularly, I am going to be pretty fucking scared when I hear one once or twice every other month.
Right.
Oh, fuck, I was going somewhere with that. I'm back to it. Because we are eliminating the fact that we are speaking with people face to face, we're looking at screens. Yeah, if I don't look at people every single day and then maybe once or twice a month I'm going into Publix to go grocery shopping, I'm going to avoid as much eye contact as I can.
Right. There's going to be an intimidation factor there because
Right.
you're not used to interacting with people anymore.
So I think it's less of people discovering that they're on the spectrum or these things could be going on. It's just we don't have social skills anymore. As humans, we have evolved amazingly with intelligence when it comes to creating technology. And now technology is pretty much creating its fucking self with AI.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely terrifying. But on a communicative human level, we have devolved so fucking far. I am genuinely terrified for our children to start dating.
What do you think? Sorry, guys, about the clearing in my throat. I have phlegm. What do you think is happening with the kids in the? I mean, obviously, our kids go outside. We have a huge yard, and you're out there with them almost every day.
Yeah.
But what do you think it's saying with the kids who spend all of their time indoors? Because there are health benefits that come from being outside. Vitamin D from the sunlight, like the physical activity of it all. We know that lack of sunlight can create depression. Look at little Seattle. It's one of the most depressed cities in the country because it fucking rains constantly.
Right.
So what do you think long-term the effects on children who spend their lives indoors playing video games, who are never put in any type of sports? They don't go out and ride bikes anymore. They don't, they're not even being the little daredevils that we were when we were kids. Like, I remember jumping off of roofs.
Oh, yeah. I was jumping out of trees and let me tie a rope to this and see if it can hold me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched a video the other day on TikTok. Blew my fucking mind. I was going to tie into what you asked me, I promise. So I want to say in the late 2000s, artists were creating depictions of what gamers specifically are going to look like in the 2020s, 2030s, or whatever, like the evolution of gamers. And it would show people with the head shape, but it would have an indent on their head.
From the headphones.
From the headphones. There was a gentleman who shaved his head for cancer on a live stream, and he had that indent in his head.
Wow.
He was like, I had no fucking idea. And then it was a compilation of videos of men discovering that they had that indent in their head because they played video games so much.
That's fucking insane.
So there is a very strong possibility that if we continue going the way we're going, where we get so wrapped up into VR and all of that shit, and we are going to become like fucking cave dwellers.
You know that video games actually help hand-eye coordination and can help problem solving in children.
Yeah.
But so does playing outside.
Right.
Real life problem solving and solutions on the fly when you're a kid with other kids, where you're getting to see them do shit and go, oh, I can do that too.
Right.
That's gone because kids don't interact the way that they used to.
Or they're scared.
Yeah, they are definitely fucking scared of everything. All right, going back.
Okay.
Great piece in The Atlantic. It was written by a high school teacher named Paul Barnwell. And he gave his kids a communication project. He wanted to teach them how to speak on a specific subject without using notes. And he said this: I came to realize that conversational competence might be the single most overlooked skill we fail to teach.
I need you to rewind that
Kids spend hours each day engaging with...
Were you hung up on the fact that she's got it written down?
No, that was a lot for me to process, and I need to hear it again.
Okay.
Or I need to read it again.
I came to realize that conversational competence might be the single most overlooked skill we fail to teach.
Pause.
Kids...
Yes. People don't know how to fucking talk to each other. And it starts in childhood. Your parents failed you. Your grandparents failed your parents. Your great-grandparents failed your great-grandparents. Like, when are we going to stand up and say, this is not how I'm going to raise my kids?
Well, people say that all the time. They just don't follow through with it.
Okay, so when is the action going to come into play?
I don't believe it will, because we are creatures of comfort. It's so easy for a parent to go, here's your tablet, go in your room and watch TV, or go play video games and leave me alone while they sit on the couch and scroll their device.
Yeah.
That's where that disconnect is coming in, and it's not going to change because people want that comfort.
Right.
We have air conditioning, we have food delivered to us, and we have our device in our hand to cure that boredom of not having something to occupy our brain. Kids become more of a hindrance than they are something that you're supposed to develop into good people.
Right. I was yesterday, so both of our kids are intelligent. Our son, when he did testing in VPK, he scored high. I think he was top 3 in his class. His sister just tested yesterday. She's top 2 in her class. She is already 8 months ahead of everybody else in her class right now. And it is because we take the time, dad and stepmom take the time to sit down, quiz at dinner, whatever is going on, sit down. Dad printed out actual workbooks.
Yeah.
And they sit down for 30, 45 minutes and they work on their workbooks every day. Like, we are teaching our children. At 4 and 5 years old, They looked at each other the other day and like they were like, "That's a miscommunication."
Yeah.
And I looked at our son and I was like, "What did you just say?" And he didn't say miscommunication, right? But the syllables were there, and you could tell what he was trying to say. Our children are better communicators than majority of adults. And they understand things because they know that you're not waiting for your turn to speak. I mean, we're working on it.
Right.
But in very serious situations where we're trying to get something across of why we don't do this, because in the real world, somebody might fight you over it, they really sit down and they listen and they absorb it because they recognize that what we're telling them is important. And whatever they have to say is not more important than the lesson they're being taught.
Right. Yep. Right.
Kids spend hours each day engaging with ideas and each other through screens, but rarely do they have an opportunity to hone their interpersonal communication skills. It might sound like a funny question, but we have to ask ourselves, is there any 21st century skill more important than being able to sustain coherent, confident conversation? Now, I make my living talking to people. Nobel Prize winners, truck drivers, billionaires, kindergarten teachers, heads of state, plumbers. I talk to people that I like. I talk to people that I don't like. I talk to some people that I disagree with deeply on a personal level, but I still have a great conversation with them. So I'd like to spend the next 10 minutes or so teaching you how to talk and how to listen. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Things like look the person in the eye, think of interesting topics to discuss in advance, nod and smile to show that you're paying attention. Repeat back what you just heard or summarize it. So I want you to forget all of that. It is crap. There is no reason to learn how to show you're paying attention if you are, in fact, paying attention.
I disagree with that.
I do disagree with that too.
And I disagree with that because we know that in moments of tension, repeating things back to the person that you're speaking to is going to eliminate the miscommunications that happen when you think you understand something and you don't.
Right. I also want to say there's a difference between paying attention and comprehending.
Right. I think that all of the things that she listed, if that is the way that you are using your body language to communicate, you are doing that as a manipulation tactic, waiting for your turn to speak. Mm-hmm. So there's a time and place for that. Nodding and smiling to show that you're paying attention. I mean,
shows I'm engaged.
It should be normal behavior, right? We do that. I don't think that those are things that you should forget. I think those are things that are important to instill and should become habitual. But I also think that the repeating things back is not something you should ever forget. I think that's something everyone should be doing, especially in conflict.
I agree with that.
Now, I actually use the exact same skills as a professional interviewer that I do in regular life. So I'm going to teach you how to interview people, and that's actually going to help you learn how to be better conversationalists. Learn to have a conversation without wasting your time, without getting bored, and please God, without offending anybody. We've all had really great conversations. We've had them before. We know what it's like. The kind of conversation where you walk away feeling engaged and inspired, or where you feel like you've made a real connection or you've been perfectly understood. There is no reason why most of your interactions can't be like that. So I have 10 basic rules. I'm going to walk you through all of them, but honestly, if you just choose one of them and master it, you're already going to enjoy better conversations. Number 1, don't multitask. And I don't mean just set down your cell phone or your tablet or your car keys or whatever's in your hand. I mean, be present. Be in that moment. Don't be thinking about your argument you have with your boss. Don't be thinking about what you're going to have for dinner. If you want to get out of the conversation, get out of the conversation. But don't be half in it and half out of it. Number 2,
all right,
don't pontificate.
Pause. Before she goes into that,
okay.
I would like to say that I don't believe in multitasking.
I agree with that.
I can pay attention to multiple things at once, and I can function like that, but it does not have my undivided attention, and things will always be missed.
Yeah.
If you are not giving something 100% of your attention, something is going to get dropped. Mm-hmm. If you have 15 tasks that you have to do in a day, and you focus on one of those tasks at a time, those tasks, though may not get all done in a day, they will be done to the best of your ability. Whereas if you do all 15 of them at once or throughout the day, like combined as a multitask, you're going to end up having to redo some of that shit.
Right.
Give it your 100%. And if you can't give it your 100%, don't fucking do it.
Right. Do it right the first time or don't do it at all.
Right.
I'm not trying to waste time because I don't have a lot of it.
Right. It's the only thing you can't get back. Whoops.
If you wanted to state your opinion without any opportunity for response or argument or pushback or growth, write a blog. No, there's a really good reason why I don't allow pundits on my show, because they're really boring. If they're a conservative, they're going to hate Obama and food stamps and abortion. If they're a liberal, they're going to hate big banks and oil corporations and Dick Cheney. Totally predictable. And you don't want to be like that. You need to enter every conversation assuming that you have something to learn. The famed therapist Eb Scott Peck said that true listening requires a setting aside of oneself. And sometimes that means setting aside your personal opinion. He said that sensing this acceptance, the speaker will become less and less vulnerable and more likely to open up the inner recesses of his or her mind to the listener. Again, assume that you have something to learn. Bill Nye, everyone you will ever meet knows something that you don't.
Yep.
I put it this way: everybody is an expert in something.
Pause it. Everybody who has looked past the way that we look and has actually sat down and listened to what we had to say has taken something from our podcast. Everybody on TikTok, well, I know there are some trolls on TikTok, but on YouTube, more of our fan base there, you guys, what the fuck did she just say? They were ready to learn something. How did she phrase it?
I don't know how exactly she phrased it.
But they were willing to learn something from somebody. Right. So you put your judgments aside, heard what we had to say, maybe even triggered you. And you asked yourself, why did that make me so angry? Why did two tattoo people piss me off so much? And you continued listening and then recognized, okay, I'm not hot shit. I can learn something here. Be proud of that, guys. Yeah. Because we get a lot of hate, a lot of shit, a lot of judgment. And there are people out there who aren't willing to just take that second and listen to something that could possibly change the course of their life. Yeah. But y'all did.
On the same topic of what you're talking about right now, Jordan Peterson said that people are not free thinkers because thinking is hard. To actually sit down and think about something means that you have to remove your bias and your predisposed opinions to really formulate a hypothesis. And then you have to argue back and forth with yourself on the pros and cons of it in order to make it work. So when you have people have a conversation with you and they are steadfast in their opinion and they can't be budged, they haven't thought about it. They heard it and went, that makes sense. I'm going to believe that. And now they believe it, so they're not willing to change. It's why when people lose arguments, they get mad at you because they lost the argument. Right. Not because they were unable to recognize that they were wrong and learn from it. Yep. I also don't like Bill Nye. Just saying.
Why?
I just don't like Bill Nye.
Number 3, use open-ended questions. In this case, take a cue from journalists. Start your questions with who, what, where, when, why, or how. If you put in a complicated question, you're going to get...
I also think that we could have done better with the who, what, when, where, why, and how, because we were on the W's all the way through. They should have found a thesaurus word or a word that means pretty much how that starts with a W just to finish that off, because I don't like that.
I honestly just think we should put a silent W in front of the H.
How? All right.
Get a simple answer out. Like, if I ask you, were you terrified? You're going to respond to the most powerful word in that sentence, which is terrified. And the answer is, yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Were you angry? Yes, I was very angry. Let them describe it. They're the ones that know. Try asking them things like, what was that like? How did that feel? Because then they might have to stop for a moment and think about it. And you're going to get a much more interesting response. Number 4, go with the flow.
They call those leading questions.
Oh, that means thoughts will come into your mind, and you need to let them go out of your mind. We've heard interviews often in which a guest is talking for several minutes, and then the host comes back in and asks a question which seems like it comes out of nowhere, or it's already been answered. That means the host probably stopped listening 2 minutes ago because he thought of this really clever question, And he was just bound and determined to say that. And we do the exact same thing. We're sitting there having a conversation with someone, and then we remember that time that we met Hugh Jackman in a coffee shop. And we stop listening. Stories and ideas are going to come to you. You need to let them come and let them go. Number 5, if you don't know, say that you don't know.
Okay, I don't even need to hear her reply to this one. Let me turn this thing back to us. I don't know is one of the dopest things to hear from somebody, because they're admitting their incompetence if they don't know something, or their lack of intelligence. In some cases, you can even define that as actual ignorance. I am ignorant to that discussion. I don't know. In business, when somebody says, I don't know, and then follows up with, I can find that out, those are researchers. Those are great fucking people to have, because they can Google and they can fucking do the research to find the data that other people have already ascertained, and they're able to regurgitate it. For somebody in business to go, I don't know, well, what do you think or why? And then you have an open, engaged conversation where you're throwing ideas at each other. Those are critical thinkers, and those are people who are going to do the best in business, because they're admitting they don't know. They're digging for the information with the people they're talking to, and then they're problem solving on the spot instead of going to do the research that other people have already done to find the shortcuts of the answers. Cool story, bro. I should have just let that one go, right? Because that's what she said, to just let him go. That was where my thought went.
Oh.
Should I have just let that go? I disagree with this woman. She's wrong.
Okay.
I actually don't disagree. Nobody cares that you met Hugh Jackman in a coffee shop once.
Now, people on the radio, especially on NPR, are much more aware that they're going on the record. And so they're more careful about what they claim to be an expert in and what they claim to know for sure. Do that. Err on the side of caution. Talk should not be cheap. Number 6, don't equate your experience with theirs. If they're talking about having lost a family member, don't start talking about the time that you lost a family member. If they're talking about the trouble that they're having at work, don't tell them about how much you hate your job. It's not the same. It is never the same. All experiences are individual. And more importantly, it is not about you. You don't need to take that moment to prove how amazing you are or how much you've suffered. Somebody asked Stephen Hawking once what his IQ was, and he says, I have no idea. People who brag about their IQs are losers.
I was gonna go by, but I want to drop this too. That whole scenario of bringing up the relation of, well, I'm having a hard time at work. Oh, I hate my job too. That falls back into that waiting for your turn to speak thing. You're not really listening to what's going on. This lack of empathy is a big problem when it comes to relationships, because if you said something, if you're like, babe, I feel like whatever it is that you feel like, right? And I'm like, no, I get that. I feel that way with this. And then I go about my day. You have been invalidated, not heard. You still feel the way that you feel. And not only do you feel that way, now you have resentment towards me because I just brushed you the fuck off and went about my life like you don't matter. If somebody comes to you with something, a death in the family, like she said, or an issue in terms of the way they feel about their job or something, listen. And if you feel like you need to give advice, be like, do you need me to just listen to you right now? Or do you want me to try to give you answers? Like, I can try to problem solve with you if that's what you want. I need to know what you want so I know how to listen. That shit goes a long way. You don't have to relate. Sometimes it's easier to just be like, oh, really? Well, what's going on? And just let them get it off their fucking chest. It's not going to affect your life one way or another.
Right.
But you could literally save someone's life by doing that. And when I say literally, I fucking mean that. A little bit of kindness goes a long fucking way when people are in dark places. When people are in dark places. I promise I can speak.
Conversations are not a promotional opportunity. Number 7, try not to repeat yourself. It's condescending and it's really boring. And we tend to do it a lot, especially in work conversations or in conversations with our kids. We have a point to make, so we just keep rephrasing it over and over. Don't do that. Number 8, stay out of the weeds. Frankly, people don't care about the years, the...
Or what?
Our stream was interrupted.
What do you mean it was interrupted?
I don't know. We just received an email.
Oh, it's a copyright notice. It's all right.
names, the dates, all those details that you're struggling to come up.
Yeah, they're gone. They stopped our stream.
They damn sure did. All right, let's give it a second and see if it pops back up. Apparently you can't, maybe we went too long without pausing.
Oh, I don't know.
Your stream has been temporarily blocked because we detected video belonging to someone else. If you plan to continue to ensure that, yeah, that's the thing.
Well, you hungry?
Are they still able to see the chat?
I think so.
Are still here. But they blocked us for copyright.
People are popping back onto TikTok from YouTube. So we got a copyright. So we're blocked for a few minutes. Is that what it said?
Oh, wait. Stream is no longer blocked.
And we're back. Okay.
All right. That was stupid. So apparently we got it when we do our reviews like this and we do reaction videos, we need to be quick with how long we allow it to run. So we'll go like 30 seconds and then pause, 30 seconds and then pause kind of thing maybe, and see if that gets away around the copyright. Or maybe we just need to find something that's not copyright. Let's see. We're going to skip the breakup fight scene because that's copyright. These other two are personal videos that we found. So we'll do that instead.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. We are still trying to figure out what we can and cannot do with YouTube. And they are very wonky about their copyright shit. So, all right, let's go to this one because this is a couple fight. This is only 3 minutes.
Okay.
This is an argument we get to break down.
Dope.
I hate when this happens. Like reactions are not transformative enough. Totally BS. Happy y'all are back. I agree. Thank you for that. All right. Boop. Boop. Oh, that's loud.
Are you really heading out early?
I don't know. I might. Okay. How you were being a, you know what, all last night.
Oh, in my sleep when you were also doing the same thing? It doesn't really matter to me.
I know it doesn't. That's why. I mean,
No, it does matter, but I'm not going to sit here and argue with you or act like it matters. But it just makes me just want you not to even bother being here, and I'd rather just not deal with it. I was half asleep.
That wasn't even
And
last night. I'm talking about like at dinner and stuff.
I didn't do anything. That's what started it last night. I didn't do anything at dinner. I'll even ask Becky.
We were all sitting. Oh, well, fuck, of course they're not going to say you were. I mean,
Why wouldn't they?
Because they just won't.
Like you would be honest
So
with me,
anyhow.
just like Nikki would have.
Well, I don't care what they think. I know what I think.
Well, great. You know how I felt all those times we were around your friends?
So does that mean
Zero
you
sympathy.
are you
No,
doing,
because I
like
didn't.
that makes it right to do?
No, because I don't think I was doing it.
Whatever.
Just like you didn't think you were doing
Okay,
it.
pause.
You did if you said.
No.
So I know you were on the phone over there, but she said something happened at bedtime that upset her because she was half asleep. I'm assuming he was trying to get some. He
Probably.
made a comment about her behavior at dinner. He's like, that's when it kind of started I was getting frustrated. And then she brought up, ask whomever was there. So I'm assuming that they went out with some friends, maybe drank a little bit. When you are having a disruption in your relationship, you do not bring outside sources into it and say, oh, well, side with me. Tell me that he was fucking up, or tell me, agree with me, she was acting like a bitch. That is, your friends are devoted to you.
It's also gaslighting by definition.
That is gaslighting by definition, correct. So by Google definition of gaslighting, she just gaslit her husband in this argument.
We also know that whole situation is creating a negativity bias in their friend group.
Correct.
The thing that I caught in all of this is that she's obviously made breakfast for him and the kids, and he ate it. And instead of trying to go about a normal day, this was an intentional fight picked.
I don't know if it was because
That whole thing, because of the way that you were last night, I don't know, I may leave because of the way you were being last night. There was no reason for that.
Oh, I didn't catch him saying that.
Here, I'm going to go back.
Are you really heading out early?
I don't know. I might. How you were being a, you know what, all last night.
That.
Okay.
He's going to leave early because she was being a you-know-what last night.
Okay, so in this situation, as a woman, say I was being a bitch last night. Say that my tone was shitty or I was being short with you in front of people. That does need to be addressed. That is something that should be discussed. That's not the way you approach it.
Not at all.
I would appreciate you saying, you know, hey, babe, last night at dinner, you spoke to me this way, and it kind of fucked me up a little bit. Like, we don't do that in front of people.
Right.
That's different from you're acting like a bitch last night, so I'm going to leave the house.
Yeah, I think the conversation of what happened at dinner should have happened after dinner, whether you were driving home or friends had left, and it just be a conversation because it needs to be addressed as quickly as possible. Bringing it up the next day is not going to solve the problem. This scenario, he should have been like, she asked, "Are you leaving early?" And he goes, "Maybe. I don't know. He could have said you were really off last night, and I don't want to add to that by being around you, so I'm going to give you time to process."
I could tell I made you mad last night.
Unless you're ready to talk about things, and if you're ready to discuss things, I'd be more than happy to stay home, babe. Like that whole delivery is the reason that this entire thing transpawns between these two people. There's no reason for that. Your intent behind your words fucking matters.
Right.
He came into this with you were a fucking bitch last night mindset, even though he didn't say that.
She also could have said, we don't talk to each other like that.
Right.
She does get to a point where she says, I'm not doing with you, but she's yelling it.
Yeah.
It's already escalated. You guys are already in a full-blown fight at this point, or a verbal fight.
All right, I'm going to jump back to a minute. I don't know where it was paused at because, again, I did have to answer the phone, but all right.
No, I'm just saying. You sure didn't give me any sympathy when I kept begging you to act different. You kept pretending like you weren't doing
Don't
it.
turn on me about last night. So.
Oh my God, I didn't do anything last night.
I think you did. So.
Well, that was my point just now.
So that's all that matters. I think you did, so that's all that matters. So...
Hang on, I'm processing everything that was just happening in a second. Okay.
This is what selfishness looks like.
Yes.
This is not teamwork. This is not a marriage where both people have an equal say. This is not where you can look at this couple and go, that man truly loves that woman to the ends of the earth, because all that really matters is the way he feels. He just said it.
Right.
Regardless of what has happened in the past with him or with her, the discussion of last night should be stuck to last night. Bringing up shit that's happened in the past is scorekeeping. In the past, not past. Past is scorekeeping. So if she's got unresolved issues from the past because he hasn't changed his behavior and now she's starting to behave the same way and he's got a problem with it, these are things that could have been handled in the past. It should have never gotten to this point.
I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said and address something that she said. She said, I didn't do anything last night. Say he did something to piss her off. He acted inappropriately. Maybe she caught him checking out another female, whatever it was. You are responsible for your actions, even in your reaction.
Absolutely.
So even if what you did was a reaction to him, you could have handled yourself differently.
Absolutely. Guys, before we get a little bit further into this, we would really like to have video submissions. So if you guys have sent us emails and you have the opportunity to send us video submissions for us to break down like we're doing right now, we're going to prioritize those over regular emails because we have something visual to see and it's not his side versus her side. We can actually see what's happening in the moment and our bias is not skewed the way yours is. So if you have these kind of things and you would like to send these things to us, make sure that the other person knows that you're doing it, obviously. But send and just put in there, video attached. You can use on podcasts so that we have rights to use it and we'll go. Or post it to your YouTube account publicly and then just send us a fucking link because then it's free game.
Yep.
All right. Back to the video.
That's fine. You're right. That's all that matters.
Just like it was.
She said, just leave. She said, you're right, because that's all that matters. And then he started to talk, and she said, just leave. Tell me that this whole situation is not on its way out the door.
It's already out the door.
Yeah.
And at one point, they were in love.
Right.
They have kids. One point, they looked at each other and said, let's fucking do this. Mm-hmm. And she's just leave.
That's sad.
You're my favorite person.
Am I?
You are.
Not just because you have borderline?
No, not just because I have borderline.
Okay.
You're my favorite person, and I could not imagine sounding so defeated in our marriage and saying, just leave. I don't want you here anymore.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Don't cry.
I already am.
All right.
That'll work.
So now it's back to 10 of that time. It's just whatever, however you fucking feel every
No,
day.
how you feel? Obviously, you said I was
Oh
doing
yeah,
that to you.
today, yeah,
No,
you're right.
good.
Even what
I'm
I'm
done.
talking about last
Good.
night,
I'm
you're
done.
saying the same shit.
Fuck.
Smart.
Ooh, fuck you.
She just burned herself?
I don't know if she burned herself or if she dropped something, but that smart comment,
Yeah.
oh, it would take everything in me not to get physical over that shit. Like, really? You want to, after treating me the way you just treated me? I have to remember I can't get charges. I have kids.
You know that heats up the pancake.
I'm not going to keep doing this back and forth. I'm done.
Just because I'm
Whether you
gonna
like it or
not
not.
be here today.
No.
Okay. I have a lot that I want to say about this, but I'm actually done watching this. There's only a minute left anyways. But
He's acting like a 14-year-old.
he's acting like a child.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was going to say. I wasn't going to give an age, but I'm going to pull this back up on the screen so that you guys can see what what I just caught.
You know what? No, yeah, you're right. There's a 9-year-old right there right now who got in trouble for a flag on his backpack, and he's acting more mature than this guy right here.
Yeah.
So
this scenario, this woman has made breakfast. She's cleaning up. Kids have gone out the door. She's now breaking down everything, burns herself, and he has done nothing other than rinse his plate off in the sink. She's
And
literally
instigate.
taking everything else upon herself to do it while he sits there and does fucking nothing other than instigate an argument with his woman.
yep.
This is not okay behavior
No.
in any of this. Even if they have a traditional value marriage, right? And he works full time and provides and she's the stay at home, this is not an okay scenario.
This is unacceptable.
Yep.
I would ask for divorce papers over this shit.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk to me like this. We're supposed to be married for the rest of our lives. I'm not going to be on my deathbed looking back at the rest of my life and said I should have left.
Yeah. This is one of those scenarios where she's doing everything that she's supposed to be doing and he's just watching it happen. And he's not offering to help. He's not contributing anything and he's being a piece of shit over it. I don't know what happened last night, right? We have no idea because that wasn't recorded. We know what we can see right now, and everything that I'm seeing right now, he's the fucking problem. This argument should not have happened.
Right.
Even if they really fucking got into it yesterday, that's yesterday.
It's not how you talk to each other.
Right. You've had time to sleep. Things have had time to cool off. You can have a normal discussion with each other. This is a problem for me. And the fact that he had zero concern for the fact that she burned herself while arguing says everything that I need to know. Like, there's nothing else here you're going to tell me. You don't care about your woman. If you and I were in a throwdown screaming match, which has never happened, we've never yelled at each other like that, ever, and you hurt yourself, all of that emotion and frustration of us not being able to communicate is out the fucking door because I'm worried that you're not okay. That says everything I need to know.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess, dude. All right, this one, I don't know how long this one is. I don't even know what this one is. This is marriage talk. This is 4 minutes. Depending on if we have time or not, we may jump into an email or something after this. Play.
Don't touch me.
I'm patient.
No, you're fucking not. You're like the most impatient, moody fucker I've ever met.
I'm patient when it comes to you.
Freem, I carry our marriage, and you know that.
Wow.
Freem, you know that.
I think we have a pretty 50-50 marriage.
You're high. You're high. You're kidding. on stream? Is this content? Or wait, you're kidding, Graham. You think so?
I think I help.
The fuck is his voice?
I'm not saying you don't help, but you think it's 50-50? Oh my
Aggie,
God.
aggie, aggie, aggie.
Ever heard of jerkmate?
He did that thing I'm not gonna say majority, but I know a lot of women when they get emotional, their voice goes up.
Yeah.
He just did the thing.
I'm curious as to what the 50-50 is going to entail because that's
Right.
what this was titled, 50-50 Marriage Talk.
Explain. Explain.
I mean, okay.
I would unironically say I'm probably one of the best husbands on.
I'm sorry.
Explain.
Explain. Explain.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna start explaining? Let me interrupt you so you can't do what I just asked you to do. Explain. Oh gosh. It makes me want to get violent. Hearing someone speak like that, like who the fuck? Karate chop your throat. Try to talk after that.
Yeah. Judy Chop.
Little cha.
On planet Earth.
You're a very good husband.
No. I wouldn't say very good. I would say one of the best.
Okay, so she just complimented him
Yeah. And
in the middle of him berating her.
Yeah. One of the best. He's one of the best husbands. I would be willing to put that to the test. I'm just saying,
I
like,
would
if there was
too.
ever a comparison, I would play that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. You know what I was thinking about? I was driving, listening to NSYNC after doing the morning thing. I don't know which Paul brother it is, but one of them is a boxer.
Okay. I think it's Jake.
And he's challenging everybody.
Well, he's challenging has-beens.
Right, but he's challenging people. He's doing the fucking thing. I almost want to start training to box just so I can challenge people to box. So like this gentleman right here, if you really think you're so fucking, box me, bro. I'm a lady. Box me, bro.
I actually sponsored a female boxer from the tattoo shop a
Yeah.
few years ago who actually went on to win a championship. And we should get her to box these people because she's already trained and you don't have to break your nails.
You're right, but like, no, I don't want to do like a champion thing.
could treat it like Game of Thrones, be like, choose your champion.
Right, I know, but I feel like
Ronda Rousey.
I would get a deeper satisfaction within me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people who speak like that, who talk to people that way, in such a condescending, especially a husband to a wife,
Yeah.
you really think you're all fucking that? Let me introduce you to my husband.
I wouldn't even go as far as to say that I'm one of the best.
I
know
you
that
are.
there are men out there that far outshine me when it comes to things that they do for their woman. But I also don't have a delusion on what I do. Like I hold myself to a standard. And when I meet that standard, I raise the bar. And when I
Yeah.
meet that one, I raise the fucking bar again. Because I always want to have something to work towards.
Right.
I don't want to be one of those guys who ends up like the last dude who's just watching you put away groceries or dishes after you made all the meal and let the kids out and berate you and then watch you get hurt and continue to talk shit afterwards. Like, all right, going back.
I would say I'm goated with the fucking sauce.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, you carry in social aspects, I carry in the back end tech stuff. And I feel like together we make a good team.
No, here we go.
Wait, stop. Is he talking about their internet presence?
I don't know.
It sounds like he's talking about their internet presence because she said, I handle all the tech stuff, the back end stuff. And together we make this work. Oh God, fucking ego kills talent, man. All right.
When we're done, remind me to talk about the table.
Okay.
What about marriage?
Okay?
Marriage, not tech stuff.
I mean, our marriage still includes our business relationship with me helping with your career. Because that's a big part of our marriage.
No, but I'm
the
talking-
subathon is a big part of our marriage.
I'm saying take job out. Take jobs out. Sure, you help me with tech stuff for my career, sure. But marriage, dude, I am the conflict resolution god.
Yeah, you are.
All right, I'm done. I can't even.
Oh, that almost came out
I
of my
heard
face.
that swallow.
Oh, that almost came out of my fucking face. Did he? King. I'm the king.
No, he called himself God.
I'm the god.
He
of
said the conflict resolution God.
resolution.
Yeah,
As I'm sitting here berating my wife.
right.
Fucker.
And then posted to the internet.
Box me, bro.
I don't understand people's mindset sometimes. I just
either.
don't.
I really don't. Like, there's a superiority complex there. I am the god of conflict resolution. You're screaming at your wife in a car on stream.
Right, while she's trying to have a normal conversation.
And she said, you are a great husband. You're a fantastic husband. You're just. And people watch this and support it, and he's going to continue that behavior. And she might stay in that marriage, and she might move on. And the next girl who falls into that spot is also going to get the same treatment.
She's also going to get on TikTok and tell people like you that you're in an abusive relationship because your husband does all these things for you. And
I'd hope not.
And
I mean, people do.
it's probably because they've experienced what's going on in that car right now, where they've been, told essentially for however long they've been together that I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, that's what they believe. And then when they see a relationship like ours, where the same things are being said, but the actions are very different.
Yeah.
They only hear the words and not see the actions of what's actually happening. This is the damage that happens long term from people who are in abusive situations and don't realize it. Yep.
Someone said someone needs to humble that mofo, and it'll be me.
Yeah.
We have a boxing studio near us, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a jiu-jitsu school a couple blocks from the house.
I need to start increasing my cardio anyway. I'm going to come back to you after I do research.
Yeah. We got our conference table to Jordan, and it's got the I had Jeff Graham write "Earn Your Sleep" real big, so that we can print it in the center of that table, so that when we start having our business meetings, like it's a constant fucking reminder. That was the remind me of the table thing, just so I don't forget.
Okie dokie. Are we doing an email?
We can. Do you want to jump into one? I have an hour before I have to deal with the alarm people.
Okay. I mean, I have an hour before I have to go clothes shopping for photo day tomorrow, picture day.
Okay.
I'm so all over the place. I thought it was yesterday, and I thought it was today. It's tomorrow.
People in the chat, if you cannot, I guess it doesn't even matter, because somebody in the chat was like, if you can't see them, refresh the page. And here I am like, hey, if you can't see us, refresh the page. Dumb.
Caitlin said she read my comment, and I read another one. I love your guys' support. This is so dope. You guys have changed our lives.
Yes, you have. And we have a lot going on when we get back from Vegas. There's going to be a lot of changes happening to be better. We are at the beginning stages of a new evolution of what's going on. We are starting to look into doing a whole lot of things, and one of those things is having people in studio, which means we could potentially, eventually, at some point, maybe, start doing relationship shit in person. Charge a shitload of money for it, but we could do it.
We really could.
Yep.
Lifestyles, coaches.
I don't like the idea of having a coach in terms of using that term.
Yeah.
Because I don't want somebody to try telling me something that they're not doing. You know what I mean? And like, that's where my issue comes in with marriage counseling. You have no idea what kind of marriage that person has, how many times they've been divorced, what their life looks like. Like, I wouldn't want somebody that's failing in their own shit to try to give me advice. Like, I know how to fail on my own. I got this. Like, I want answers on how to do better.
Help me.
Help! I need somebody. Dude, I am so fucking like...
I can tell you. My aunt, I told her you were kind of going through it yesterday, and she texted me this morning. She's like, how's he feeling? And I was like, stuffed. Kind of sounds like a Muppet. And she was like, no, he needs to rest. And she recommended getting a humidifier. We need to get a humidifier. Yeah, for the bedroom. And open.
Somebody said, what about y'all writing a book? Books. I would buy them. We've actually had people offer to ghostwrite for us. I don't know if books are going to happen. We definitely, there are journals for sale online right now, and there are other things coming that are paper format, but I'm not willing to get into that yet.
Should I talk about it or should I not talk about it?
I think we should wait. I think that we should drop both of those things when we get back from Vegas.
Okay. I'm so excited. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. I would rather wait until we're past that planning phase and things start moving into production before we get into that shit.
Ooh, Javier just confirmed poker.
I
We're going to
saw
have
that.
2 tables.
Yeah, 2 tables. For you guys who see Peaches in the hoodie blanket thing in the bottom right corner of your screen, those are up for pre-order on the tobebetter.com website. They are limited run. We are pre-order selling them only, so they will be ordered in an exact number, and they will not be resold. So if you guys are interested in the magical, comfortable blanket, that's the way to do it. All right. Let's do an email.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Let's do something from the trash bin.
Oh,
Let's pick a trauma dumping, oh my fucking God email.
okay. This is titled, Please, I Need Your Help.
Uh-oh. This is a long one?
I don't know. Let's see. Is this not connected to the internet? What is happening?
It should be connected to the internet if you're able to.
Oh, there it is. Just moving very slow. 2 pages.
Okay.
Okay. So my fingers,
There's a mouse over there you can use.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so much easier.
There's also a keyboard over there. It's all connected.
I've seen that. It just blends in so well with everything over here. It's
Those
nice.
RGB lights don't help you, huh?
I mean, now that I see it, I see it. It was up here out of my
Periph?
view.
Out of your periph.
My periph. Okay, how many people do we have watching?
481.
Ooh. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Please, I need to know if it's me or him. I would talk to someone else if my insurance would pay for anyone else to help.
What a shitty thing. I'm just gonna use you. Not I love your content. Not hey, can you help me out? I would pay for somebody else, but I'm poor. I love being your last ditch effort.
Yeah, that kind of makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I feel like it's prom night and you didn't show up.
I feel like it's the night of prom and we showed up and then the first girl you asked changed her mind and you just walked away.
Oh man.
I read that and I was like, how much, like, my first thought was, wow, that sucks that your insurance doesn't cover mental health when it's called mental health.
They actually do, which is the whole point of Obamacare. What you doing over there? Taking a breather? Got it.
I can't do it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Very nice. Ooh. Thank you guys for the gifts on TikTok. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's really shitty. Because I had insurance and my insurance wouldn't cover mental health.
It's supposed to by law.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest selling points on that whole insurance thing.
I want to apologize for how long this may be. I have a lot to get off my chest. Oh, I'm not in the microphone at all. So I'll just come out with it. I've been with my husband now for 6 years, 2 years married come August. As time goes by, he seems to have less interest in my and our kids. One is my daughter, age 7, and one is his son, age 8. Oh, so he's losing interest in his own child. He spends all of his time on video games. When we first met, he was all about the kids, park, pool, walks, fishing, road trips. Now it's nothing but work, home, and games.
That's called escapism. He is not happy in his marriage.
Yeah, he's not. Been with the husband for 6 years. Yeah, something changed. I hope she includes a lot of like key moments, maybe big arguments that went unresolved or something. This really upsets me because when our daughter comes to me and says, I want to show daddy something, but he is playing video games. Damn, dude can't even take a second. I have heard men in live games that you can't pause go, boys, I'm out. My daughter got something. I got to go.
Right.
I'll be right back. And they will die and lose whatever they got going on and accept it because children come first.
Right.
The wife comes first. Husband, whomever's there. It's crazy.
I don't think that the kids should suffer because the marriage is fucked up.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's my issue in this. The not listening to the wife thing, like, though that is a problem, there's an issue that's happening there that's making that a thing. It's one of those things like, you and I have a really dope fucking marriage.
Yeah.
And I know that if I wanted to have a glass of whiskey every night and play 2 to 3 hours of video games, you would never have a problem with it.
No, I would cook you your favorite meal and I would get it all ready for you. So by the time you sat down to play the video games, you've already had dinner and the whiskey's ready.
Right. But how often does that actually happen?
It doesn't.
And I always ask first, like, hey, I'm going to have a drink. Are you good with that? Like, I'm going to play a little bit of Need for Speed. Are you okay with that? Like, because our time matters to me.
Yeah.
And if this is going to be something that could potentially be a problem, or you were like, well, I was hoping to watch a movie tonight. Dope, we're watching a fucking movie tonight.
Right.
I don't need to play video games.
Yeah.
When I do play video games, you're on the couch with your feet in my lap playing on your phone. So, like, it's not like there's a weird imbalance there.
No.
I'm not at a gaming computer in a different room ignoring you.
No. We're cuddling, and I'm actually enjoying watching you play.
Right. Well, and you're talking shit.
I am. I'm talking a lot of shit.
But it's fun, and it's something that we can do together. And like, I teach the kids how to play video games.
You
Like
do,
we
yeah,
play
they've played.
we play Need for Speed together, or like I'll make them take turns just crashing the car. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. The idea that you are neglecting someone's excitement because you are
Right.
wallowing in your own self-pity is a fucking problem. And that's something that you need to recognize. Like, hey, I'm unhappy as a motherfucker and it's affecting my children.
Right. You know, dad and stepmom are both gamers. They have gaming PCs and they do their thing. And they include the kids on it.
Right.
Games are something that you're supposed to have fun and get excited about. You would think somebody who is truly passionate about that kind of thing in their downtime would want their kids to be interested in it as well because it makes them happy. Right now where the kids are, they're trying everything. I have my plant thing. You and them do the video game thing. You're now teaching them the pew-pews with the BBs.
I am teaching them how to shoot airsoft guns. That's
Yes.
where we're starting.
I don't know what I can say.
You can
so.
say airsoft. It is an airsoft. It is
Yeah.
actually an airsoft gun. So that's how I'm going to teach them how to aim and properly handle a weapon before we move on to bigger, betters.
And then there's dancing and drawing, and we're learning about space and dinosaurs. Like, so many outlets for them to try. This kind of dedication, that's not an outlet. Like you said, it's escapism. Super unhealthy.
You know how much better that would be if they were playing Dungeons and Dragons together as a family?
Oh, that would be so dope.
As soon as the kids are old enough to understand and like make up the stories as they go. Yeah.
And they're going to have some crazy stories.
Well, yeah, I homebrew all my games.
Right, but they're kids. The imagination.
Yeah.
I'm really going to have to step my game up.
Yeah.
Okay. Back into the email?
Yes.
Okay. When we first met, I was so in awe of a rule that he put in place that was zero technology when it was dinner time. But now he wants his food served to him in the living room, and I eat in the dining room with our kids. That's it. There's no elaboration on that, when it started, why it
Right.
changed.
But tell me that doesn't just, when reading that, don't you just go, okay, so when did that start and why did it change? Because there's a
Right.
fucking problem here. Like, why haven't you gotten to why this is happening?
Like, when was the first time he asked for it? And you were like, okay, that's weird. But you were like, I get it. He's stressed. Maybe something's happening at work. So you let it slide.
Right.
And then the following week, he asked 2 times. And now you don't know how it's happened, but you guys don't eat dinner together ever. And it hasn't happened for a year.
Right.
That would devastate me. I don't know their life situation and the things that they've experienced, but like what we have, just imagining that point makes me want to cry.
Right. Well,
Sorry.
we had, when we had the kitchen table still, that was it.
Yeah.
Phones went away. We ate dinner together as a family. We got rid of the kitchen table because we turned half of our house into a fucking podcast studio.
And now that we're getting a studio now.
Right. Well, we have a studio. We're in it.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind getting a small round table for us to eat at again.
Me too.
I prefer that. It's nice to be able to watch TV when we eat. But even when we have the kids and the kids are watching TV, they're not eating.
Yeah.
Like, they're staring at the fucking TV and then their food's getting cold and they're not eating their dinner. So like that should be a thing still. I'm wondering how often he goes, what did you learn at school today when the kids come home?
Probably never.
Right. Because he's not invested. He's not invested in the house. When a man gets to that point and like he's just existing, this is why most women initiate divorce more than men do, because men will suffer like that. They're not,
Right.
and that's been proven too. But I'm not saying that that's a slight against women or a slight against men. It's just factual that we will sit and suffer versus actually making a change, because it's easier to just suffer than it is to make the change,
Right.
especially when there's kids involved.
There was something I was going to say. What was it? You probably don't remember what you said before you ended.
We were talking about the table
The
and
table
eating.
And eating. Nope, the thought's gone.
Okay.
Okay. I know your views are he is the king, and I absolutely feel that way as well. However, I feel more of a maid who cleans the dungeon. Never seen, never heard. I know that he is the provider, and I respect the fuck out of that. However, I'm losing respect for my provider fast.
We don't tell people that their partner is a king. It's a title that's earned. It's not given. Your man wants to be the man of the house. He needs to be the man of the house. Simply bringing in a wage doesn't make you the man of the house.
Right.
Effective leadership gives you that title. Leading your children, leading your wife, spiritually, emotionally, figuratively.
Yeah.
Playing video games and ignoring your children doesn't give you that role. Not having a job doesn't give you that role. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. You don't just get that because you get married. It's earned. If a man doesn't earn that, you don't fucking give it to him. That's why so many women write in that are in their masculine.
Yeah. Do you think that her saying that I know he is a provider and I respect that, however, I'm losing respect for my provider, do you think her saying that instead of my husband is a way of distancing herself emotionally?
Yes, it's disassociating. It absolutely is.
Okay.
Which says a lot about what's going on in her mindset as well. I'm willing to bet there's no intimacy at all in their relationship.
I would bet that too. I'm going to call for an intermission. I have to use the restroom.
Okay.
Dope.
I'm going to show you something when you walk out.
Okay. It was so smart of me to wear my house slippers.
Yeah.
This is so comfy.
Do you like this
Okay.
more than this?
I like that.
You like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Would that make it harder for what?
I don't know. I told him we were live and that you would discuss it afterwards.
I like that.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We are conducting business while doing our business. How's everybody's day going? It's fucking hump day. Mike. Guess what day it is? Hump day. So stupid. I fucking love those commercials. 504 people watching. Well, damn. Bringing money in just means you are employable. Good job being an adult. Ooh, Jason Kirk. I mentioned you in a live the other night, or maybe it was a video. I don't remember, but I mentioned you the other day. It'll probably come up at some point. I miss those commercials. Mike. What day is it? How are you guys? We're okay. We're getting ready for Vegas. Ready for some cooler weather in Florida. Yeah, good luck with that one.
It was 70 this morning when I woke up, or in the 70s.
Yeah? Means we might get like 2 days of cold weather this year instead of one.
Hopefully. Uh-oh. Touching buttons and things. I just realized there's no soap in that restroom, and I apologize.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer. I have soap at the house. Please remind me to grab a bottle.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Jason Kirk said, hopefully a good thing. It was a good thing. It was the stats that you had mentioned about it being safer for children now than it was in the 80s because of the sheltering of children. Guys, we will be in Las Vegas from the 12th to the 19th. If you are in the Discord channel, there is a Vegas chat. We are going to try to do a meetup on Wednesday. I'm not saying anything more than that because I don't want the general public just showing up. But if you are in the Discord, look for the Vegas chat. We would like to try to get some sort of meet and greet while we're there. All right, woman. Let's get back to it.
That's my favorite pet name that you call me.
Woman?
Yeah.
I could think of more, but I'm not getting us kicked off TikTok or YouTube.
Okay. I just processed what you said and I'm short-circuiting.
Kimber said, I love it when people come to Vegas to visit for the first time or otherwise because I'm from here and it's a constant for me. I actually thought about buying a house out there. I am, this will be my 9th time going to Vegas. 9th. And I have been out there for no less than a week every time I've gone.
We should get a vacation house there.
Yeah.
Once everything settles.
Yeah. Their water situation stresses me out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you hear about what happened at Burning Man?
The flooding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are trapped there.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't take much when you have no rain to get a little bit of rain and it become a problem. I know that there's Lake Mead is drying up and they're finding barrels with people in them in the bottom of the lake, and that's where all their water comes from. Yeah, we should talk about that when we get back from Vegas. Vegas is a fucking interesting thing. Their water shortage has been going on for so long now that they have created ways to wash clothes that are based off of recycling water. So like when all the casinos take their linens to the wash, there's a long fucking tube that's like 2 miles long.
Okay.
And they wash everything in the really dirty water and then wash it again in slightly dirtier water or slightly cleaner and slightly cleaner and slightly cleaner all the way to the end to reuse that water over and over and over again. And by the time it gets to the end, it's clean, but they are reusing that water instead of wasting water. That was on one of those How It's Made type TV shows.
That's smart.
Yep.
And
what?
I'm processing the Lake Mead thing.
Yeah.
What was that movie we watched?
Casino.
Robert De Niro. Oh, Casino.
Yeah.
That movie's insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that ended in the 80s. And the last barrel that they found, the guy that was in the barrel had clothes that was from the 80s. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of dead gangsters out there.
Robert De Niro.
All right, let's get back to the email.
Okay. I do not get acknowledged for anything that I do for him. I cannot for the life of me remember the last time that he came home and after telling me about his day, asked me or the kids how their day was. So that answers your question.
Right.
I love asking the kids, what was your favorite part of the day?
Mine is, what did you learn at school?
Yeah.
Because I want to know that they're engaged and I want to know what they did. So, and it gives us a reason to talk because normally when I ask what they did, if they learned something new, I get to hear what they learned.
Right.
So like, we're not just nothing and then going to their room. Like I got to learn little man got the days of the week down, and like he made it a point to repeat it 3 or 4 times. So I know he's fucking got that shit committed to memory. And it's good to see that progression.
See his brain get a little bit bigger every day. I wonder, because she said that he tells her about his day. I wonder if she's still asking or if he just is coming home and telling her. Either way, she's listening.
I'm willing to bet she's asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like he wants to converse.
Right.
It sounds like he's appeasing the situation versus being involved. That would be my guess based off of what we're reading or what you're reading.
This is a really short email, and I am losing the hope that there's detail of something that happened that changed his behavior.
Yeah.
I am constantly in a state of mind that it's my fault. I've not lost enough weight. I don't wear sexy outfits, but he always comes home to a spotless home. Kids wanting to play with him, dinner done or cooking.
I wonder what the disconnect is.
So she is focused on her physical appearance because she said her weight and outfits. But then she comments on the things that she physically does in the home. Cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids. There's nothing about communication or... I like to think of things as like shapes. And when it comes to... A triangle is a pretty strong shape, right? It's not the strongest. Is it a square?
A dome.
A dome. I'm going to use a triangle.
Okay.
Might not be the strongest, but it's pretty sturdy. We're not going to put anything on it unless we're balancing things, like those rocks.
It's a D4.
It is a D4.
You definitely don't want to stand on that.
Right. Okay. So when you meet somebody, you don't approach them if they look like they're addicted to drugs. If someone is acting erratically, maybe dangerously, and you feel a little anxious, you're not going to approach that person.
Right.
When you do approach somebody, it's because they are welcoming. Maybe you're attracted to them. Something about their physical appearance and their personality drew you to them, so you've approached them. So physical attraction. We got one side of our triangle. Second side of our triangle is actions, the way you make that person feel with what you do. Take them into consideration, those kinds of things. When you told me that you were having a rough night and you were uncomfortable because I was at a bar until 3 a.m., when we were still just in speaking phases, in that moment, I decided that you were more important to me than me going out until 3 o'clock in the morning getting wasted. You didn't ask me. You didn't put me in any position. You were just saying, I'm having a hard night, and I asked you why. And you said, I'm going to be honest, and you were. And that was it. And in that moment, I was like, okay, this will not be a thing ever again, and I'm sorry. Bottom of that triangle is communication and empathy, being able to understand the feelings of the person that you're talking to and being able to communicate your feelings in a way that's not offensive and acknowledging when your behavior's not up to par.
Right.
Did all of that make sense?
Yep.
Fantastic. So we're missing the bottom part of our triangle here.
I think we're missing a lot more than that.
I know.
I think that we're actually missing context.
There's a lot of context
Because
missing.
if her life is based off of the servitude of what she's doing and his life is based off being a provider, that's the problem. You should be a husband first.
Right.
You should be a wife first. Like that's where everything else comes second to that. That's how you ensure that you have longevity. It's how you ensure your kids have the best fucking life that they can have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not put them in third place or fifth place. If as a man, if my life was work, pay bills, play video games, go to bed, that's all I have.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're there or not. It doesn't matter if the kids are there or not. I'm working to provide, probably doing something I really fucking hate to do, coming home to a home that I know I'm going to be miserable in, looking forward to be able to play video games so that I can escape all that because this is the only thing that brings me any type of enjoyment.
Right.
How do you not look at your life and go, okay, this is not living. How do I fix this? What do I need to tell her? Like, what is the things that she's doing wrong that's making me feel like I can't talk to her? How do I word things to her to make her realize that she's the problem I'm having? Or I'm having a problem. How do I word it to her that this is what I'm having without hurting her? Like,
You know, there's not even a straightforward answer to that.
right.
I can give options. Everybody's on a different emotional level.
Right.
And everybody's going to take something differently because of cognitive biases and trauma and whatever else they're going to attribute to the way they react to things. There really is no straightforward answer to that.
Right.
That sucks.
But it comes down to you know your life better than
Anybody.
we do. Right. That's not, I don't think that's a very hard thing. I think the biggest thing in all of that is realizing that this sucks and this isn't how I want to live. Because that's what it comes down to. I don't want to live like this anymore. What's next? Do I move on? Do I fix my marriage? Am I about to destroy my kids because I'm already fucking them up? Like, and that's a question that both of them need to be asking themselves.
Right. If I can please give an example of what I'm trying to say, we recently had company coming over to visit. Please keep in mind that this is the first weekend that he has been home in months. So his brother and sister-in-law and their 2 little kids were coming, so I cleaned like a mad woman. I'm talking like finger, skin, dry and peeling because I cleaned so much and did so for an entire week.
You know they make gloves. No glove, no love.
I own 4 different pair of gloves. I have 2 pairs here and I have 2 at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your hands are super soft.
I lied. I have 5. I have 1 under my sink. Strictly for our bathroom. Because I always forget and I'm not walking across the house. I wish she elaborated on that. Him being home that first weekend in months. Has he been home Wednesday, Thursday?
Right. I'm curious if he works away.
Right.
Because if he works away, there's probably infidelity and he's just not leaving because of the kids. I now have to have a bathroom break as well. So you can have a inhaler situation while I go and void myself.
Okay. I'm actually going to drink water instead, so. I really want to tell you guys about the idea I have. I told the Discord, select people know right now. And it's, I'm that kind of person who will tell you I got you a gift and wait for you to ask me what it is. And I will ask you once, do you really want to know? And if you tell me yes, I will tell you what I got you. Yep. But I'm good at keeping other people gifts on the down low. If someone tells me like, hey, I got so-and-so a gift, don't tell them. My lips are sealed. TikTok, thank you for the little gizmos. Appreciate that. We do have a Discord, guys. Our Discord is accessed through our Patreon. If you'd like to check it out, all the links are in my bio. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Appreciate it. We've been live for 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half. Oh my God, Christmas shopping. That's the worst for me.
We have roughly 30 minutes.
Okay. We're almost done.
Okay. We still have to read supers too, so.
Okay. I appreciate the fact that she takes pride in her home when guests come over.
Me too.
That's something I take very seriously as well. I want my house to look good. I don't want my house reflects my mental state.
Yeah.
What was that?
Then that explains why I leave everything all over the place all the time.
Oh, I thought you were telling me I was doing a bad job. And I was like, no, not on the podcast. Off camera. No, when we have people over like poker nights, knowing that we are having poker nights.
You always clean on Fridays.
Well, now I'm cleaning more throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like, I am slowly crawling out of the low that I've been in with my BPD. And like, I'm feeling better. And knowing that every single Friday night we're going to have guests, house fucking needs to look good. They're walking through the kitchen. They're going through the house to get to the bathroom. They're looking at our whole living room.
Which is currently an assembly line.
It is. But the house looks a lot better than it has been in the last few months.
Yeah.
I hope you told her thank you for doing that. Look, the hope's coming back a little bit. The first morning, he leaves for a day trip with his brother, and I got to spend time with my sister-in-law and my nephews. It was beautiful. They come home, he plays video games, I cook, clean the mess, and settle in for a game of cards with my sister-in-law.
Wait a minute, so he went and played video games while you had guests?
Right, like I was like, where's the brother? What did he do?
Were they playing video games together?
She doesn't say. She said he plays video games. I'm very burpy. I apologize. Excuse me. The next day, they leave in the early afternoon. Once they are gone, I told him I would love to get out of the house today. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm thinking we can take the kids to the park or go for a walk. I just love this to be for us. I proceed to shower, and when I come out, he's on his video games, so I get upset, simply say, well, I guess we aren't doing anything today. Okay. He did not answer me. By this time, my kids are outside playing, so I go out to play with them for a while, and we, meaning me and my daughter, end up going to the store to buy a rake. I come home and proceed to spend all day playing outside with the kids and raking the huge yard. After all the snow had melted and the dog... Oh, okay, the dog poop needed cleaning up, and now I'm done raking. It's a little after 7 p.m., and I'm not picking up all the piles. Okay.
Shouldn't have been out there raking in the first place. This is a him job, not a you job.
Yeah, the fact that you guys didn't have a rake is a him problem. I can go and pick one up. I don't know what tools we have.
You don't need to.
I don't know where. I know we have a toolbox.
Yeah.
I know the names of tools, and if you told me to, like, hey, babe, I need this, okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes because I have to look through everything, but I know what I'm looking for.
Right. Well, That's also not a thing because if I go, hey, I need this, it's in the third drawer of my toolbox on the left-hand side. Can you grab it? I know where my shit is.
Right.
I don't, that's only because like, hey, I'm walking to the kitchen. Do you need a drink while you're laying on the floor? Like doing whatever it is that you're doing. That's bullshit to me. There's no reason for her to be out there raking. There's somebody out there?
A truck pulled up.
Okay. It could be the
The guys.
yeah, the alarm people. I told them to be here at noon.
Okay. They're early. I agree. The raking of the yard and whatnot, that is a him. He should be doing that. Now, say she likes maintaining the yard and it's nice outside and she enjoys it. It's a self-care moment for her.
Right. It's different.
I'm all here for it. I want to jump back to where she said, I got in the shower. When I came out, he was on his video game, so I got upset. And simply say, well, I guess we aren't doing anything today. I wouldn't.
Passive aggressive as fuck.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I can understand being upset because this is his escape. And you guys had a conversation of what today looks like. And common sense is, I'm going in the shower. You know you have about 20 or 30 minutes. Please be ready.
Right.
And that didn't happen. So I would also be upset. I would be a little bit spicy. I would be instantly emotional because that's just how I am as a person. And I would have to take a second and I would say probably something along the lines of, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Right. That's the answer. Because it's going to take you an hour to get ready. It's going to take me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you come out and go, okay, I'm ready, and I go, cool, I jump in the shower and leave, that's the end of the problem. If I wanted to play video games for an hour while you were getting ready, knowing that I still have to shower and get ready, I don't see what the issue is. If if he is a 5-10 minute to get ready, you can get the kids ready while he's in the shower. Like there's just a little bit of downtime there.
Right.
Or he could have done it while you were in the shower and then jumped on the video game. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just a better way to handle that. I agree that was handled wrong.
Or he's sitting there already ready to go. We don't know if he has his shoes and whatnot on, if he's dressed and ready. He could just be waiting for you.
I wonder if that comment would have been enough to be like, fuck it, then you're right. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even respond.
Right.
He just sat there. Any other final thoughts? Okay. He decided to come out and toss the ball with our son. Yes, I'm pissed at this point. And time, how long he does this? 15 minutes exactly.
So you're keeping score.
That is not how I would have handled that either. I can understand being pissed off. He's been playing the video game all day when you expected to have a day with him. He got off you just said that he rarely spends time with the kids. He's ignoring the kids. The kids aren't responding to him. They're so sad because they miss him. He actually got off the video game and played with his son.
Right. And then it becomes a problem.
I would have said, thank you.
Right.
You just made his day.
Yeah. It becoming a problem is exactly the perfect way to make sure that they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So he played with the son for 15 minutes exactly, and not once asks if he can help bag the raking piles. There were a total of 7 bags. We had not spoken in 4 days. Oh my gosh. We have not spoken in 4 days. Okay. So he didn't ask to help with the bag of the raking piles. So what do you do to help him?
Everything, because he's playing video games all the time.
No, right. Like you're cleaning the house and you're cooking and all those kinds of things. But that super passive aggressive remark, if that's how you speak to him,
it's a problem.
Okay. Why would I want to hang out with someone who talks to me that way?
Right. This is what I was getting into earlier.
It's a cycle. You guys are, you're both keeping score. Well, if she's going to talk to me like that, I'm just going to play the video games because that's what she expects. Right.
Or why would I want to hang out with somebody who talks to me like that?
Yeah.
That's the detachment that happens.
I really, really wish she included more context, more instances of what happened.
I would like to hear his side of things.
Yeah, that would be dope.
We should have one of the wizards email them.
Okay. And I wonder if he's helped in the past with that. Like, was that the thing that he would help you with before the big change of him? Was he more helpful in those aspects? I know she touched on he was more active as a dad.
Well, she said in the beginning everything was perfect. That he was no technology at the table, that they were walking, hiking, going on trips, vacations together and all that shit. And now all he does is play video games and work because he's detached. He's not happy, and there's a reason for that. And when you figure out what the actual reason is, all this shit will stop.
Yeah, there is no why.
Right. And I'm willing to bet that there's been conversations where he's been like, this is a problem and it's not changed, and therefore why continue to harp on it? Mm-hmm. If nothing's going to change, I'm not going to keep bringing this shit up. There's no point. You're not going to change. Like, yeah.
This is one of those moments where I wish I was talking to this person in person.
Right.
Like with this email in front of me and read it to them and say, okay, now where in this is there any detail I can work with you?
Yeah.
All I can pick apart is how you're wording yourself and the way you're phrasing things. I can follow the threads of the psychology behind the way you're saying it and the way you're presenting your feelings. His actions are certainly a problem. This is not how a man leads his household.
Absolutely not.
But there's no why of... Because he was that man. He was everything she wanted him to be.
Yep. And then something changed.
I can't believe they haven't spoken in 4 days. When we have a disruption and you don't talk to me for 30 minutes, I'm losing my mind.
Somebody said she's in the TikTok chat.
Who's in the TikTok chat?
I'm assuming the emailer. She's in the wrong chat because we're on YouTube, but
yeah. If the emailer's on TikTok, you need to go to YouTube.
I mean, not that it matters. We have 20 minutes before we got to get off at this point anyways. But
so another email would be fantastic.
Yeah, from your husband. I want your husband's perspective of what's going on in your lives.
I would like an updated email from her. I want to know if us breaking this down and pointing out that there's a lot of words, just not a lot of information.
Tell everybody that's in your TikTok that if they want to be involved, that YouTube is the place to do it. Because apparently she's answering questions in the TikTok chat. According to Mama Pear.
Yeah, so when we go live on YouTube, the TikTok is purely just a window for you guys to see what we're doing. There's very little engagement. So, like Chris just said, we have about 20 minutes left until we have to get off of here. So I would encourage another email. I would like a little bit more detail. You feeling the way you're feeling is a lot. And I can understand why you're so frustrated and pissed off at your husband. There's no why of anything. It's just a lot of how I feel. And like Chris said, his side of things would be...
It'd be amazing.
We would be able to help your marriage, hopefully, a lot more if he was willing to participate.
Are you wanting to do the... Are we going to start doing expedited emails again when we get back from Vegas?
I think it's worth it.
I think it is too. And I got to be honest, if we go through the trash folders... The dumpster file folders, the ones where people are like a mess. If we could get both of them on, I think that's going to be the answer. The problem is I don't think that a lot of the people know or their partners know that they're emailing us.
Right.
So, I don't know.
I go to bed before him and I'm awake before him. We don't go to bed without each other.
Nope. You sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I do.
While I stay awake and watch television.
Yeah. This will always be funny to me when I said that I'm excited to pregame going to bed by falling asleep on the couch with you. Oh, she ended with, I'd be happy to give any additional information or answer any questions. So definitely a updated email. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end TikTok. We're getting off of here in about 20 minutes. I highly recommend to go check out our YouTube channel and definitely subscribe if you want to be a part of the conversation and just be more active. YouTube.
That's it. It's where we do everything. The number 2 be better.
So we are going to continue this live on the YouTube for the next 20 minutes. So I'll see you guys there. Bye.
You were saying that when we go more than 30 minutes of tension, you have issues with it.
Yeah, I get anxiety.
I don't like it when I know that you're upset with me.
I don't like it when I know you're upset with me either.
Right, and it's simple. Like, it could be body language. It could be the simple response. Like, hey, what's going on right now? Like, let's get to the bottom of this now before it becomes an issue. And normally it's, well, you said it this way, or I came in and you didn't come to me right away, or whatever the situation is, because we have routines in our life.
We do.
So like in the event that I wake up and don't come find you, because I do have to come find you. It is like playing Marco Polo on our house. I check the living room first and look up at the camera and see if I can see you outside, because that's normally where you're at. It's one of those two places.
Yeah.
But I make it a point to before I even get my energy drink or anything, I stumble out there half awake, groggy, give you the morning kiss, say good morning, and then I go about grab my energy drink, go to the computer and start working. Or I go work out. So in the event that I don't give you that kiss, you know something's not right with me in the morning. And it could be a you thing, it could be a me thing, but until we have that discussion, you don't know. And if you're like, fuck it, he's having a bad day, and we don't have that discussion.
He's having a bad day, we're having a bad day.
Right. And it's the same way for both of us. Like, but we want to get to the root of it so that we can know if it was something we did, so that can be hashed out before it becomes an actual issue.
Yeah.
It's simple. That's why we don't go more than 30 minutes when there's tension, because it makes us feel like shit, because we've taught each other not to do that.
Yeah. So this is kind of off topic, on topic. So the good morning text messages that I've been sending you, if I were to stop sending those, would that be a moment for you?
I don't know if it would be a moment. I would definitely question why. Like, I would want to know why you stopped sending them. Okay. But I also know that to send those text messages every day, there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
It is a lot of thought.
And eventually you're going to run out of things to say. So like, I do expect it to happen, but I don't think that I would be upset by it, because you've done it now for more than a month. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that you can continue that for the next 40 years. So at some point it's going to stop. And when it does, it's okay.
I'll be dead. You just put all of the fuel in my fire.
That's funny.
If humans nuke themselves, I'll write you letters.
That's comical.
I'll whisper to you in the morning as you're waking I see your eyes flutter. I'm right next to your face. I love you because.
That's funny. All right. So super chats.
Super chats.
All right.
I hope she sends an update.
Kayla said, if everyone could send good vibes for my fiance's interview at the car salesman today, that would be amazing. He's been working extremely hard on moving up the ladder of the dealership and giving us a chance to level up. Bum Poo sent $20 with nothing on it. Oh, they just said thank you both. That was the second screenshot.
Oh, thank you for the supers, guys.
Hannah said, finally caught alive. Saddleworth UK got married last week thanks to becoming better. I emailed a pic with a thank you. Peaches, you would love where I live.
I believe that.
Ash said, you two have changed my life. Love from Australia. The Hidden. What's up, Luca? You had me at violence. Sammy Joe sent us $2 with no text. Bailey said, hey guys, I admire you both and I love any and all advice you can give me since you both have BPD. What kind of advice can you give someone who may be also struggling with it but not diagnosed? If you think you have it, live like you have it. The diagnosis is just a label. So if you think you have borderline, start doing research on what borderline is and how to do, like look up dialectical behavioral therapy online. Read Buddha and the Borderline. There's a ton of books that you can read to start bettering your life. That's the advice, because we could sit here and go on for hours about all the stuff that we know, but we did the work to figure all that shit out. And if I would have had somebody just point me the research and the resources like I just did for you, it's going to save you a whole lot of time. Yep. Kim said, just wanted to say you guys are my comfort thing to listen to. If I'm cleaning, cooking, downtime, I'm almost done with watching everything, and now I'm feeling like maybe I'll rewatch it all. You could also join Discord or Patreon if you haven't, although I'm pretty sure you are in there. Since you guys are going to Vegas, and if you want to see an amazing show, go to see Terry Fader at the New York. He's a ventriloquist. His show is a must-see, or see the Michael Jackson show. The Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson 1 is something we are seeing. I bought the tickets for it last night, and we are right in front of the fucking stage.
I can't do ventriloquists.
No?
I can watch them on TV. Can't be in the same room as one.
No?
The puppets can't. I've read a lot of Goosebumps growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Jones said, just scheduled my first half of the GED test so I can level up with better support my wife. Love you guys, and the advice you give us has helped me and my wife tremendously. I love that. Lauren, Making Adventure for $10 said, I finally caught alive. I wanted to say thank you. Our relationship is strong due to all the projects and hobbies we have together, but everyone can benefit from the better communication. Also, we plan on joining your Patreon. Does one pledge give us access to the men's and women's group? And do you still talk about entrepreneurship? What is talked about in the women's group? So can you bring back his and her emails? We never got rid of his and her emails. If people want to write us in together, we would love that. As for the men's and women's group, the Discord, if you get into the Discord, it does give you access to the public groups. If you want to get into the private groups, those are paid for. You put the women's group on pause because life.
Yeah.
I still have the men's group going, but it's September's done. We're not taking any more new people for September. So if you want to get into that, you can. An entrepreneur thing, business is a very big part of that. So definitely something you should look into if that's something you're into. We got this shit done right as they were pulling up because I see the alarm company in their truck out there. So
All right. I'm going to go get Panera for lunch.
yeah, I have not eaten yet today. So there's that.
Would you like me to bring you something back?
That would be kind of nice because I'm stuck here until they're done. And they told me that it could take a half a day. So, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I know you don't like Panera. What would you like?
I mean, we're close to Arby's and shit. So
Okay.
we could do something like that. Boss Queen said, is it easier or harder being with someone that has BPD? It is fucking hard as shit to be with somebody with borderline. There's a whole lot of work that has to go into that. If you think you're dating someone with borderline, read Stop Walking on Eggshells.
Yeah.
Chelsea Prince sent a super chat that said, thank you for all you do. I'm currently watching the love language videos and I'm learning so much. We love that shit. Those videos were a lot of fun to make. So let's wrap this up, guys. If you want some of the merch we still have a lot of it on the website, tobebetter.com.
Well, the his and her shirts are going to be a staple.
Yeah, those are still up there.
Yeah.
We still, I think, have like 100 of each shirt. The tattoo shirts are still available. The accountability shirts and the hoodies will be live on September 24th at 7 p.m. There's still journals available, and we have a whole lot of new shit coming in October. 2023 is going to finish super fucking strong for To Be Better. I promise you.
Yeah.
And we've got 2024 is going to be a fucking roller coaster. I'm ready for it.
I'm so excited.
For you guys who are curious about the Discord and Patreon, I highly recommend checking that out. We do vlogs. Like we keep you guys updated on our actual life, not just emails and shit. So they've been able to see a whole lot of things that have been exclusive to just that. We are going to be doing 2-part emails where people come in, or interviews, where people come in and we do interviews and we put half of it on the YouTube and the other half behind a paid wall so that you have to be a member to Patreon to see it. And we are going to be interviewing more people that are part of our Discord community when we get back. So anything that you would like to add before we wrap this up? Hotness Everdeen.
Oh, I really want to tell them what it is.
No.
Oh, it's eating me alive.
You gotta wait. Just wait until after Vegas. We can tell them everything after Vegas. I just want to solidify things a little bit further before we spill the beans.
Okay. I will hold it in and I'll try not to pop.
Yeah. Guys, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. The YouTube thing is how we're going to continue growing. I'm seeing subscribers pop up right now just from saying that.
Ooh,
I love
look at that.
So you guys keep doing what you're doing, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.